I guess you're interested in FPV drones, and so am I. I recently discovered this hobby and I decided that I want to enter that and I want to film it. I want to make it public. Now, what you can see here in this video are my first attempts at the simulator. So, I was told that before you can fly the real drones, you should try it or learn it in a simulator. Basically, I downloaded the app VelociDrone after some research on the tablet. I connected my PlayStation 5 controller and just started doing it. I recorded my first attempts for you to see how that is going. As you can see, I'm really not doing good, and it's honestly completely different than what I would have expected to be. At first it was really strange, and I think that the PlayStation controller is not really made for that, but I then discovered that there are options and that you can actually select that you're playing with a normal console controller, and that improves the controls for the drones by acknowledging that the left stick of the PlayStation controller or console controller in general is actually resetting if you don't touch it, which seems to be not normal for the normal FPV controller that you would be using. I don't know, because I don't really have any of them right now. The controls are really strange to me. You basically just use two sticks, but it's really not intuitive. It definitely looks more easy than it is. It feels like driving a car with your feet, but I think that I'm improving over time. So the first thing that I have noticed is that the controls are kind of inverted. So if you push the right stick forward, the drone is actually looking downward instead of upward, and it is quite strange to me. It's a little bit confusing, and I think that's the standard or that's the norm in this scene, but it's a little bit weird to me. To me personally, I would have expected the drone to look upward as I push the stick forward, but that's just me, I guess. And if you turn the left stick to the perfectly right middle, it doesn't really turn right to the middle, it turns right but a little bit down, and it's like tilting in all sorts of ways, and I think that you have to counteract that with the other stick by tilting it in another weird way, and I think that's what makes it really difficult to fly these drones. I don't know to what extent the simulator is actually simulating the real experience, but I guess that it's coming a little bit close with the controls. So I guess that I need a lot more experience in the simulator before I could be looking at the drones for real. People in the internet claim that this application is a pretty close simulation of what it is like to fly a drone in general. I never flew a real drone, but people claim that this is the most realistic simulation of drones. So I'm completely new to YouTube and in general to making videos and talking in public and that kind of stuff. It's quite strange to me, to be honest, as I'm like holding a monologue and there's nobody really sitting here listening to me or replying to me, asking me questions or commenting on what I say. So that's kind of strange. In that sense, to make it less strange, I would love, or my first goal, so to speak, or my plan with YouTube is to interact with people, that I'm not just holding a monologue here, but to actually talk to people. I want to interact and not just hold a monologue and film whatever. So I have my agenda on progressing in the FPV scene, but I also want this to be a community project, basically, or not a project, but I want this to be something that I'm doing together with people that I don't really know, with strangers, so to speak, from the internet. And for that, I made a YouTube channel to make it really something that a bunch of people would be doing together, and I would love to really interact with people by texting in comments or something like that. So if you have anything to say, or if you just want to connect, if you're interested in that journey of becoming a professional FPV pilot and by chance making money with that, then connect with me. Another reason of why I'm doing this on YouTube is because I want to document it and I want to show people the path that I went to become a professional drone pilot that is making money with this from basically scratch, from zero. Professional for me means that you're at least able to or actually making money off of that. In the future, I want to give my experience on what that was like, what it is like, and I want to share my experience right in the moment of what it is like at every stage of this process, and I want to interact with people in a way that they can recommend me things or suggest things. They can recommend me steps, changes, or improvements that I could do, or other paths that I could try. Another reason is just simply to try a new hobby and to expand my expertise and try video editing and audio editing, recording, and all of that. Also, I already have a little bit experience of electronics, but I want to increase that further with creating drones and experimenting with drones and the electronics of that. That's a really important part to me, and I'm really excited to get into that deeper, to make custom builds and different kinds of drones, perhaps even builds that are unusual or strange, also bigger drones. And of course, I'm just enjoying it. I want to enjoy it, and it's a hobby after all. I want to have fun with that. I want to have fun at every single minute of the process, and that's probably the most important point for me, that I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. And so I definitely want to highlight what it is like to enter the scene, to work on creating drones, on improving as a drone pilot, what it's like to become a professional drone pilot, to become a decent drone engineer, if that's the term that's used here, I don't really know. And I want to document how long that process is actually taking. The community aspect is really important for me, and it's just interesting for me to see how, as a group of people, as a group of strangers, we could be improving against as doing it solo, just doing it silently and trying to figure out what to do and how to do it, against being a group of people that brings different kinds of ideas and expertise to the table. And the main way of interacting with the community would be the comments. That is, I think, the best way and the most productive way. Also, I think that's important for me to get more range in YouTube, because I have heard that the comments, or the amount of comments, somehow is a part of the algorithm that is used to place your video. I have to say that the simulator is already really fun, despite the fact that I'm being really bad at it. I think I'm not doing really good, but it's actually really fun. So my first step would be to become a decent drone pilot, which of course is interlacing with becoming a decent drone engineer, because to become a decent pilot you need the drones, which you probably have to make, right? But I think that I will put my focus firstly on becoming a decent pilot, and then on becoming a more decent drone engineer. In the beginning, I will absolutely not be focusing on making any money with that. I will just be focusing on improving my skills. I chose to make this a little serious, to really give this experience a little bit structure on YouTube, that it's easier to navigate. And now, I have never edited a YouTube video or any video in general, and the audio, and put all of that together. It's a really new experience to me, but it's actually quite fun. So all of that is already a really fun experience to just record, and I'm nervous, and to edit that, which I have never done before. And it's a little bit of a learning curve, to be honest, all of that together, not just the drone simulator, but also the video editing and the audio and all of that, to learn new programs and all of these things. But it's a really fun and exciting experience. If you want to tell me anything, if you have any thoughts on that, feel free to tell me in the comments. I'm going to reply to you. I'm not one of these people who upload videos just for doing that or for collecting a dime. I really want to interact with people. I will be reading everything and replying to most, if not all of that. I'm excited to read your thoughts and your perspective on that. It doesn't matter to me if you're already in the scene, if you're just watching it, if you just stumbled on that video. I don't really care, and you can tell me anything, even if you just want to correct me on my grammar. If that's your take, to correct people on grammar or pronunciation, feel free to do that. I actually appreciate it. Feel free to connect to me, and I absolutely got nothing to sell to you.